everybody, and welcome back to part 2, episode 14 of Top Rope Reality. I'm Mike Hogan, of course, and this is Justin Carter.
That's me.
And let's get started with the question of the
we kind
week.
of segued with it with John Cena and Adam Rose being injured.
Right.
And it goes right along with the situation. And Daniel Bryan being injured right now. It goes right along with the same situation. The question of the week was, would you be okay if they had a schedule that gave wrestlers 2 months off during any calendar year?
I would be.
And I like it. Because you think, okay, you can give a couple of big names off right after WrestleMania, and then a couple of them off right after SummerSlam. And then in between you got the lower names that can be interchanged all the time, that it wouldn't really affect as much. I see the bigger names, you know, they have to separate them out. But the lower name people, you got so many lower names that aren't even being used right now that could be intertwined in.
And as far as that goes, it said 2 months. You can spread it out. You could have 1 month off,
and then come
wrestle
back
a few months, and then have another month.
Exactly. I mean, look at the schedule they do with Brock Lesnar, RVD, Undertaker.
RVD ain't got too much time for he goes smoking pot for 6 months.
Exactly. Who else is on that list? You got Brock Lesnar. You got RVD. Jericho is one that has that Undertaker, of course. Like I said, I mean, you've got a list of people that do that. Batista, he's another one that's doing that.
Sting, if he ever signs this contract, he'll probably be one where he can come and go.
If Kurt Angle ever comes back, he'll be one to come and go.
Come and go, yeah.
So, I mean, why not do it for the names that are there now? Because you will have them longer term.
Yes.
If you do it now, instead of saying, okay, well, when you're such a big name and you say, well, I'm tired of the roads, I'm going to leave now, and then 10 years down the road, we'll give you where you can work 3 months and be off for 6. Instead of doing that later on, do it now, and it'll prolong their contracts, it'll prolong their stories, it'll prolong their career.
Like Rey Mysterio, they said the other day that Vince signed him down another year.
Yeah.
Because all the time he was off, he wants to get his time. He wants to make sure, and he's still injured. So, you know.
Exactly. And Christian's probably the same way. They're probably going to re-sign him because of him being out for so long. But they talked about, you know, Ray being an ambassador pretty soon, which is fine. And it's the same thing with Christian because they've been injured so much. And I mean, they said that legally they felt like Vince is okay to sign Ray to another contract, but it wasn't a negotiation. It was you're signing this and you're done.
No, you sign it. You got a year left and you're gone 8 months. You're on another year for us.
Because he's getting paid to sit at the house. I see where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's like give him something to do.
What you gotta do?
Give him something to do besides wrestling. Yeah. Because obviously
you can't wrestle. Hey, get on a plane, fly to Mexico, promote. Fly here, promote Canada, wherever. Just we will have your butt in a seat promoting our product somewhere.
Yeah. But I mean, I like the question.
I can deal with it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, and a lot of people you wouldn't even realize were gone because you'd have other people in their places.
Yes. That's right. That's
so
true.
it wouldn't. I mean, look at Kurt Hawkins. He's probably had so many daggum off days. It's not even funny.
Yeah, he had something.
Those type people, you can intertwine with take the lower level people out. You know, when Bad News Barrett has to go out, you can bring up someone, you know, to take that kind of a spot. And, you know, all the lower level people is easy to replace because you got so many lower levels that you let sit at the house all day. And they don't do nothing at all.
And, you know, you'd have to get burned out after a while.
Yeah.
And you think this would be, even if you went off for a month, you should, and they should make it where you're not afraid you'll lose your spot.
Right,
you know?
Exactly. Make you comfortable to where you won't be like, well, when you come back, you're fired.
Yeah, so it'll take you 2 months to get back where you were.
Right.
You know. I mean,
look at this. If you got these bigger names, you got like Brock Lesnar, John Cena.
Right.
Okay, when Brock Lesnar goes away, of course John Cena's here. Okay, now they're talking about Brock Lesnar being the champion. Okay, I see that.
But that'd be only for he's got to be back for
a little while. I see that.
Yeah, 6 weeks maybe.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I like this. If you take Cena out and you bring Brock Lesnar in, are you really hurting? No, not at all.
People who hate to see Cena, which I mean, he gets on my nerves.
Right. I mean, he's good for business. I'll say that.
Yeah,
he's good for the money.
Yes, he is. He is the golden boy.
The stories is the same old thing over and over again of, well, 3 or 4 people beat him up and then he came back and beat the crap out of them.
Yes.
Okay, I get that. But they would not be as tired of him as if he went away for 2 months and Brock Lesnar took his spot or someone else. I'm just giving an example at this point. But You know, and then you got like the Jerichos. After, okay, he's done with Fozzy. Let him come in for 3 months while, you know, Bad News Barrett leaves and Jericho's in that spot. Or, you know, when RVD's ready to leave, someone else is in that spot.
And say with this thing too, saying you say Barrett takes over, Johnson and goes off for a month, and Barrett takes his spot. You can still write the same thing.
Yeah.
Just put Barrett instead of Cena.
Yeah.
So then Barrett gets the main events. Barrett does this and that, and then when John Cena's back, you have Barrett and John Cena, and somebody else goes away.
Right.
You don't have to mean the same person. I mean, Daniel Bryan can go away and then come back.
Right.
And plus, you hype it up for a couple of weeks when they're coming back.
Exactly. You get vignettes finally again because they don't ever do that.
No, they don't do that.
I mean, you can get all that kind of stuff. You can build it up to where, you know, you may not know who it is the way they give a mystery to it because this is the way they would need to do it. Every person doesn't need to get the same amount of time off because then it would give it away.
Yeah.
But look, oh, well, this guy's been gone exactly 2 months. He'll be back next week. Don't do it that way.
No.
If he was gone 2 months, give 3 weeks to build up, and then that fourth week of the third month, bring him back.
Yes. Or don't even say he's coming back. All of a sudden, boom.
There you go.
Pay-per-view, into Monday Night Raw. You know, something like that.
Something of that nature, exactly. That's the way they need to bring back Batista after this Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. It all goes.
Batista needs to show back at nothing. Nobody says nothing about Batista.
Nope.
Anything. He either shows up and costs Hunter a match at SummerSlam, or shows up at the end of Raw.
The very next night. Exactly.
Don't promote him. Boom. Show him up. He does something to somebody. Fade to black. Now you're wondering what the world. You know, he got you hooked. You want to come back next week and see.
You got to see why
did he come back?
Exactly.
If he hated it so much, why did he come back?
Exactly.
Of course, you got to hook people. They don't want to hook people no more.
Of course not, because they know they have a niche audience that are not going away.
No. I loved when Seth, which we haven't talked about that, about Seth turning on the Shield.
Which we'll talk about that a little bit.
It is something different.
It is. It is different.
And was this drawn off of how great NXT TakeOver was? Because the whole week from Thursday,
I don't know. See,
from Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night on Raw, it was pretty much the best we've seen in a long time.
But from what I read, the reason why they went ahead and did Seth's thing, they say it was Vince's idea, and they say it was because of the lack of ratings. But my thing is, they don't seem like they've cared about the ratings in years, so why do it now?
No.
I mean, it's been the same old for this long.
High threes, low fours.
Right. It's not.
Sometimes when it's Christmas around that time, he knows me low threes.
Right, but it's not going to get to 8s anymore, apparently. It's not going to be like the Attitude Era. And it's not going to be a 1.0 like TNA. I don't think it's ever going to be that way.
Because you had WCW then.
Exactly.
Was this person who was just on Raw, could he be on WCW next week?
They did it with Rick Rude. They did it with Lex Luger. You know, they can't do that anymore.
No, you can't, because
so what's the point?
You can't hide anything anymore. Nope. I mean, you have to. I mean, they can, but boy, it takes a lot of work to hide stuff.
They have to lie to a lot of the people backstage.
They do, and keep somebody hid who's going to come back. They have to keep somebody hid.
This small group of people are the only ones that get to know about it.
Yes, and if he gets out, then it's one of us that did it.
Exactly. So then they know who to fire.
Yes.
So, but see, I mean, you can't trust anybody, you know, and that's sad because back in the day, it was used to be. Well, I'm a wrestler, and I'm not going to tell you what's going on because I want you to watch because it gives me more money.
That's right.
Now it's these guaranteed paychecks, so they don't have to fight for anything anymore. So what's the point? Nope. That's why I think NXT is hungry because guess what? They don't have a guaranteed job. They're still, they get paid a guaranteed amount every week or every month or whatever to train.
Right.
Which is way different from back in the day when you didn't get paid to train. You paid to train.
And then they still take your money and cut you anyways.
Exactly. So with this, it's a little bit different. They have a lot to work towards, so they're going to be hungry, and they want to get onto the main show to get more of a permanent spot.
Yeah, the network helps now, but you want to get on Raw and SmackDown.
Of course.
Being pay-per-views. But being on NXT, it's a lot better than what it used to be a few years ago.
Oh, yeah. But that was our question of the week, and we're running. We did not realize it was going to take that long, but we're running a little low on time. So,
but I mean, you know the question. We'll put it on Facebook for you. And do you think it's a good idea?
Right.
Or you think no, they need to continue 365 days a year. If they get injured, then they're off. Which is
a horrible idea. That's like run it till it breaks and then fix it.
And a lot of times WWE does do that.
Yep.
They run you in the ground, and then when you break, they freak out. You're right. Well, that's it for part 2. We got a few countdowns, which I know y'all love out there.
You love the countdowns.
You love the countdowns. We've seen it on Facebook. We've seen it on Twitter. We've seen it on YouTube. Never. But we'll be right back for the countdowns in part 3 right here on Talk Rope Reality.